What up, YouTube? I'm back. So this was another great episode of God of High School. There's a lot of things that happened during the tournament, because it was going back and forth of the tournament and then the battle that was happening elsewhere that we're going to talk about. But it was crazy, man. The first fight was Mori, and he actually lost because he did some dumb shit. Apparently, he was able to learn a technique that can make him stronger by applying pressure on his pressure points, so that he can get stronger and that his attacks can get stronger. And because he didn't do the technique well, he wasn't able to move, so he lost the first match. And something that I wanted to say is that I'm kind of disappointed that it's one-on-one battles. I thought it was going to be three-on-three battles, but it seems like it's going to be one-on-one, so I was kind of disappointed. But yeah, man, Mori lost the first fight pretty easily. I was really disappointed, but obviously they're keeping us from getting more Mori right now so that we get some more at the end of the tournament, I'm guessing, so that we can see the full extent of his power against stronger opponents. So I'm not mad, but yeah, man, it was kind of surprising that that happened. Obviously, it was to get more suspense, because they had to win their next two matches, and it was to get Mira and Han more shine. So I'm really, it's great, man. It was great. But anyway, man, there was something else that was happening elsewhere. Obviously, in last week's episode, we saw that one of the commissioner was quote unquote dead, and that's what I thought, but he's actually alive. And he's one of the strongest people in the world, so he wasn't gonna die just like that by a Nox assassin. So he was still alive, and it seems like it was because of his chariot or one of his technique with cards, which was kind of crazy. But yeah, man, he was still alive. I should have known. But anyway, we were introduced to new characters like her. I don't remember her name exactly, but she's a swordsman just like Mira. And when they showed us that, I already knew that the last fight was gonna be Mira against her, because they're two swords woman, I should say. So I really like her character design for a reason. She reminds me a lot of Erza and Fairy Tail, so I really like her design. But the next fight in the tournament was Han against a 35-year-old high schooler, which was kind of weird. His name is Jin Pung Wang. And yeah, man, he's a 35-year-old high schooler. He quit a long time ago, and then he decided to try to pass high school. So I relate to him. I'm not 35 years old. I'm not close to that, but I relate a little bit. We saw them fight. He was pretty strong. He also had a Cheriok, and his Cheriok was kind of like Thor's hammer. So that was kind of cool. But obviously, Han Daiwi is pretty strong himself. He doesn't have Cheriok yet, but he used his Asura dragon, or I think that's how it's called, and he defeated him pretty easily. So I really like that we saw Han fight again. He has the same techniques, so I'm not sure how much he learned from when they ended the preliminaries to the nationals, so we'll have to see. But yeah. Anyway, the commissioner that was attacked in his own apartment by one of the Nox assassin, was giving hands to the assassin. He was really, really strong, and that's what I liked about this week's episode is that we got to see how strong some of the commissioners actually are, and they're really, really strong. I'm not sure how strong compared to the leader, but we'll have to see later in the series. But before he was able to kill the Nox assassin, these two guys appeared. Apparently, he's a priest, and the other one, the girl, is a sister. So they're both from the cult Nox, I'm guessing, also. So that was kind of interesting. And they were going like 2-on-1 against the commissioner, which was kind of crazy because they were pretty strong. Even though the commissioner didn't seem to be going at full strength, he was helped by the black man, so that they could defeat the priest and the sister. So I thought it was pretty cool that another one of the commissioner came to help him, because he wasn't struggling, but it was asking a lot to go up against two other dudes that just came in to kill him. So I thought that was pretty cool that we got to see two commissioners fight kind of together. But anyhow, we also got to see Yo Mira versus Jang Mi. Both of them were swordsmen. Obviously, Mira has a sword technique that is pretty much rarer than the other one, So I was pretty confident that Mira was going to win because I didn't think that Jang Mi was a prodigy when we saw her backstory, So I was pretty sure that Mira was going to win. Back to the commissioner's fight, we got to see what Cheriok, the sister, was using, kind of, and it was pretty dope, it was kind of sexy, but I really like the Cheriok. I really like her character design of the Cheriok and the sister, so that was pretty cool. And we also got to see some of the Cheriok from the commissioners, obviously one of them, the one with the green hair, we already knew that he had a ripper basically, but the black dude actually had a dragon for his chariot, and that was kind of crazy because the way that he used his chariot was pretty unique, and that's one of the things that I like about this series so far is that the way that each character uses their chariot is really unique, and that's one of the things that we're going to talk about in this week's review, how the Black Commissioner was able to use his chariot. Before we talk about that, we need to talk about the end of the fight between Mira and John because it was pretty cool, Obviously, John was using chariot at the end because Mira was able to break her wooden sword. And then, Mira tried to block or attack, the chariot sword, but her wooden sword was also destroyed, So that was kind of interesting because one of the things that we're going to realize is that a lot of these dudes at this tournament can use chariot, and from what we've seen so far, Mira, Han, and Mori haven't been able to use this technique well or at all, So they'll have to use different things to advance because these are the dudes are way more experienced fighters, it seems like, and have more power. So we'll have to see what's gonna happen with that. But Mira was able to defeat her without a sword. It's not the first time that we saw Mira do that. She used another one of her sword technique, but with her own body. So she did a roundhouse kick basically to the head and knocked her out. So that was pretty cool. But yet, Team Seal won their first round matchup, so I can't wait to see what's gonna happen next for them. But anyway, man, like I said, Cheriok, the way that characters uses their Cheriok is pretty unique, And the Black Commissioner, the way that he used his Cheriok is with his dragon, and he actually took one of the dragon tooth, and used it as a weapon, which was kind of crazy. It was kind of a flame fire weapon, that he used, and he defeated, the sister pretty easily. Same thing for the commissioner with the green hair. He was able to defeat his opponent pretty easily, and that's how strong they really are. They were able, the Nox Cold guys were able to escape. But they defeated them pretty easily, and I'm really happy that we got to see how strong some of the commissioners are. So yeah. Obviously, the sister and the priest weren't the only one that were in the apartment. The guy, the assassin that came to kill one of the commissioners was still there, and he actually used himself as a bomb to kill the commissioners, but obviously it wasn't going to work. They're pretty strong dudes, so he basically killed himself. I'm not sure if he's dead because he can regenerate because of his chariot, but we'll have to see what's gonna happen with this Nox assassin. Another thing that we saw from Park Mugen is that one of the arms that we're seeing in this shot right there is Mori's grandfather's, so we all know the last thing that we saw is that he was attacked by the Nox cult and their leaders, and he summoned a big ass sword to attack Taejin, Jin Taejin, Mori's grandfather, so that's the last thing that we saw, and then we're seeing this, his arm cut off, so maybe he's been captured, maybe he's dead, we don't know yet, but that was kind of interesting, I didn't think that that would get Maury's grandfather beat, so we'll have to see, man. There's a lot going on in this series so far. Now, the last fight of the episode was Jego Taeg versus Jin Jukok. So, my bad if I'm pronouncing the names wrong, but it was both of them fighting, and we all know that Jegal is one of the strongest, probably, characters in the tournament right now because when he saw Mori and Han fight, he said that they were pretty weak, So, we already know how strong not how strong, but we know that he's really strong. The other dude, we were introduced to him in last week's episode, I think, and he was with his grandfather and that maid lady, So we already got introduced to the other dude, and it was a quick fight, man. Jago, like I said, is pretty strong, and he defeated his opponent pretty easily with a chariot, a shark chariot, nonetheless, So that was weird, but he was able to defeat him pretty easily, and then the maid lady, and I'm guessing that's his friend or his protector, came in to protect him, and she was beaten easily too, so that's crazy. But yeah, man, we'll have to see what's gonna happen next because there's, like I said, there's a lot happening in the series right now. But yeah, it's crazy, man. So let me know what you thought about this week's episode in the comments down below. Let me know what you think is gonna happen next. I do God of High School reviews every Monday, so subscribe for that. But I also do other anime related things like One Piece reviews on Saturday nights. I do Sword Art Online reviews on Saturday at noon, and then I usually do Boruto Naruto Next Generation reviews on Sundays. But I missed the last review, so I'm coming back next week. But like, comment, subscribe. It would help my channel a lot, and follow me at Anime Specialist on Twitter and Instagram, man. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.